Okay, hi, good morning. So we're gonna go through how to make a bed. So some of the sheets that you'll need is a bottom sheet. The bottom sheet is folded with the stitching on the rough part on the outside. So that's our bottom sheet. Then we have an incontinent or turning sheet. So this is the turning sheet. Then we have a top sheet which has the stitching on the inside. Smooth is on the outside, so that's our top sheet. We have a blanket, and then lastly we do a pillowcase. So this right now is in the opposite order. We're gonna use the pillowcase last. So what we need to do is flip it over. I'm gonna put it in a convenient location. So I either need to put it on my dresser or I can leave it on the bedside table. But I'm gonna put it on my dresser for now. I should also have a laundry bag, which I don't have, and a chair. Usually we put our laundry bag on our chair for our dirty linen, and we'll put the dirty linen in the laundry bag. I'm just gonna keep the bag over here. So you wanna come to your bed and make an assessment. So we wanna check, did the client have a bowel movement? Is the sheets messy? Is it wet? Then I'd want to put on gloves. Right now I can see the sheet, it's not wet, it's not soiled. So what I want to do is bring the bed to the highest level. That is the bottom to, my arrows are a little bit wrong. This will put your bed down, this will put your bed up. And I'm gonna go as high as it'll go. How do I know? If I look at the side, I should be able to see 4 holes. So I wanna make sure my bed is all the way to the top. If the bed is wet, again, I'm gonna put on gloves. If it's not wet, I don't need gloves, but I should hand sanitize before I touch anything. I'm gonna just pick up my pillowcase, and what I'm gonna do is remove, if there's any sheets, I would remove them. When you're removing sheets, you always want to roll them away from your clothing to keep all of the germs away from your body. Only one sheet should be rolled. Never roll 2 sheets together, always 1 sheet at a time. And we're going to put it in our laundry bag, which should be on a chair. If I need to, I would change my gloves because I don't want to take the dirty gloves and contaminate the bed now. If I need to disinfect the bed, like they soiled the bed, we want to disinfect before we put new linen. For now, we're okay. We'll pretend everything was clean. It's client to client, so same client. We're going to open up our bottom sheet. So when I open up the bottom sheet, what I want to do is open it to the midway point. So that means there's only 1 more fold to open. So I want to open all the way, and I want to put the center crease in the center of the bed. The way that I line this up, this is the foot of our bed. I want to just go to the edge of the mattress, or I want to go a little bit over. And I'm going to open this till I get to the midpoint. Perfect. So the way that you should see your linen is that extra fold that you did should be very close to the edge of your bed. And then you're going to have the perfect amount hanging. So what I want to do is bend and open this up. You don't want to bother fixing because as soon as I open it, it's going to change where everything is. I actually want to move my pillow off to the side. You'll see, everything has moved when I did that, so I don't need to fix too much. When I open it up, then I can find my center crease and make sure that it's in the center of the bed. I can double check by checking the next line. which should be at the edge of the bed. What I'm going to do is lift the mattress and basically tuck all of the sheets under like this, down and out. You don't want to be wearing rings because they can get caught on the springs, which is a little bit dangerous. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the linen about 1 foot away. So it's usually the opposite shoulder. You want to hold your linen about 1 foot away from the head of the mattress. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold it up. What you should end up making, if I fix it slightly, is a triangle. Okay, so that's what you want to make when you're doing this. It takes a little bit of practice. If you go too high, it's not correct. You want to go about 1 foot away and fold it up. The extra that's hanging down now gets tucked under. And we want to flip this over, but we don't want this getting too loose. So sometimes a little trick is you can hold the linen in place and flip it downward. My goal is to keep this part here 45-degree angle. And then I tuck it in. Stand up, change positions, and we're going to tuck in again at the bottom of the bed. And we're going to walk around and repeat the steps on the other side. So I'm going to lift my mattress. Make sure to keep your back straight as you're doing this. Lift, tuck. You'll see how well it gets tucked. There's no wrinkles. 1 foot away from the head of the bed, I'm going to bring the linen upward, straighten it. I should have a smooth 45-degree angle, triangle. All the extra gets tucked. And again, I want to flip it over, but I don't want it getting loose like this. So what I do is hold it in place and flip it over. And remember, I want to keep this part as 45 degrees as I can. And I tuck it. And then we tuck in all of the rest. So we do the mitered corner. This is called a mitered corner or hospital corner. For the bottom sheet, we do this at the head of the bed. So this is where the pillow would go. So the bottom sheet gets the mitered corner at the head of the bed. The foot of the bed doesn't have a mitered corner, it's just tucked. Okay? So now we're gonna walk around because our linen is on the other side. And we're going to put our turning sheet. Remember that we want to support from the shoulder to the hips of the client. All we need to do is leave space for the pillow. So that's pretty good here. And I'm already going to move to my top sheet. So very similar technique that we're going to use. Open it all the way out. I'm going to open it once more because now I'm at the halfway point. It's a little bit different this time because now we've left space for the pillow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my linen at the midway point to where the pillow would be, in the middle of the pillow. And I'm going to put the center in the center of the bed. All of the extra actually goes at the foot of the bed this time. And I'm going to open it up. Don't worry about making it too perfect. You can fix it later if needed. This sheet has lots of wrinkles, but I'm just going to look for my center crease and make sure it's in the center of the bed. The other easiest way to make sure your linen is straight is just to take a step back and take a look. And this bottom will be very straight, and you should have about enough to tuck in. If you have enough on this side, you're gonna have enough on the other side. So we have our top sheet placed. We're gonna actually place the blanket as well. So same procedure. Opening it up. I'm gonna put the center crease, right? The center crease doesn't have an opening in the center of the bed. When I line it up, I wanna go just a little bit below the top sheet so that when I do a fold, this is called a cuff. When we do the cuff, I should not see the blanket like this. That looks a little bit messy. So I want to bring the blanket a little bit lower than the top sheet so that when I make the cuff, it looks very neat. So we're gonna open, and I'm gonna open again. You've noticed that I didn't really walk around to fix the linen because I'm going to do that now. I want to save myself from walking back and forth and back and forth. That's all I need to do, and my linen's already fixed. So now I can take all that extra, right? Make sure that my linens are straight. I can make that cuff that I was talking about by folding my linen down. Should be approximately the size of your hand is where the cuff should be. So it shouldn't be this big. It should just be a little cuff like that. You can come around this way. Since I'm on this side, I'm gonna finish this side. So the same thing that I did for the bottom sheet, I'm going to do for the top sheet and the blanket. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift the mattress with one hand, and I'm gonna take this linen and I'm gonna tuck it as far as I can under the bed. Okay, so I've done a lift and I've done a tuck. 1 foot away from the bottom of the bed, and I bring all of the linen up. You'll see I make the same triangle. I tuck in the bottom, make sure that your bed is locked. And then again, you can hold and flip over and you'll see that nice 45-degree corner. We're gonna repeat the steps on the other side of the bed. So I'm gonna finish the cuff here. We're gonna lift the mattress and do our tuck. 1 foot away from the foot of the bed. I'm gonna hold both of the linens. So make sure you're not just holding the blanket. You want the blanket and the top sheet. Bring it all the way up like this. Straighten it if you need to. You can actually look at the lines, and the lines should be straight. We take all the extra hanging and we tuck it in. And again, I like to hold and to flip it over. And that's the 45-degree angle we want to keep. So now when we actually look at the bed, we have a mitered corner on all 4 corners. So we have mitered corner here, mitered corner here. Our bed is almost done. The only thing left is our pillowcase. So we have 1 more linen to go. The pillowcase should not be done on top of the bed because it doesn't have a pillowcase yet. So it's a good idea to do it on the dresser or on the bedside table. And you're just gonna open your pillow. There's different ways of doing it. My favorite is to flip it inside out. So if we flip the pillowcase inside out, I grab onto the pillow and then I actually flip it inside out again. I'm able to do the pillowcase without actually contaminating the pillow or it being anywhere near my body. This is a little bit too loose now, so what we do is we tuck one side in, and we tuck the same side in as well. Put your hands and just go sideways. And that will straighten all of the linen. Wherever your door is, you want that opening, because after a while, it kind of comes back out. So we always put this opening part away from the doorway. So if a visitor or the client comes in, they always see the neat part of the pillow. So let's pretend our doorway is on this side, so I'm gonna put the neat side closer to the doorway. And that's how you make the bed. This bed is actually called a closed bed, meaning the client cannot get in. An open bed requires you to pick the linen up, fold it back and forth. This is called fan folding. Pick it up again, fold it back and forth. And if we do one more, this is called an open bed because the client can get into the bed. All we would need to do once the client is in the bed, if I'm the client and I'm in the bed, hold on to that top piece, and because we fan folded it, all we have to do is pull it, and it's much easier for the client to get into the bed in that type of bed. Now we have a closed bed again. And that's everything for making the